Standard Renoir projects. Implementation.
Implementation. If the focus process is the preparation and plan to win the hearts and minds of the key stakeholders in the business, the implementation phase is the execution and delivery. This phase can be defined as making it happen. Once the MATs understand and believe the opportunities, we follow up and support them through relevant training and coaching, and facilitation of the changes required to deliver the result. Getting a result in business without knowing how you did it doesn't count, especially if said result is not repeatable nor predictable. Renoir's goal is twofold: exceed the financial and operational goals to which we have committed, and ensure that the stakeholders who are involved with those goals can do it again and again without us.
Typically from weeks 13 to 16, the intention is to engage the client to cooperatively install the developed solutions to a self-sustaining level such that the desired outcomes are realized. Elements, tools, and techniques utilized during the implementation phase will include wet run implementation of solutions, a systems audit for each implemented solution, simple compliance, understanding, usage, culture and sustainability, dashboard reporting, coaching and training to reinforce behavioral changes, writing of procedure manuals for each solution, financial savings sign-off, and hand-holding and transition. The change curve mimics the emotional effects associated with different stages of a typical project. The change curve. In the stages prior to the SIM, challenges will include identifying issues, assessing impactability, ensuring buy-in or ownership from the client, and developing solutions. The hardest part of any project is implementation, the point when we introduce change to the client and the mark of where the real challenge begins. If the process has been followed correctly, then installation of solutions should be easier, as there has been a consistent emphasis on ownership. However, getting people to actually change the way they work remains the hardest part of the process. It is for this reason that typical Renoir projects will dedicate approximately 50% of the project to implementation. The change curve then is representative of the changing attitudes of the client throughout the different stages of the project. When implementation begins, there is a real risk to productivity in the short term as people start learning the new tools. The KPIs may dip initially, but when people understand and use the new tools, productivity will steadily increase, as does the confidence of the client. The change cycle. When change is introduced into an organization, it traverses a number of stages. With each of these stages, the correct management style must be adopted in order to ensure the correct progression.
In going through the change cycle of compliance, understanding, usage and sustainability, one has to look at several points which can be classified into the following three categories: technical, tactical, and evaluation. This graphic explains the required elements of implementation in a matrix, taking into account those mentioned stages of compliance, understanding, usage, and sustainability, and the three mentioned categories. Whilst at this stage all the tools should have been developed and ready for implementation, one should also go back to the contract to ensure that all technical as well as tactical deliverables have been or will be addressed during this implementation phase.